When do we talk about the fucking shows and movies? Thanks for the F shot. I don't know, but his arm got chewed off. Show me what you got. We'll drink it if you say.
Hey everyone, LewisLightning here. We're back with another episode of Wasted Opinions in the new year. One of the inaugural, we'll see which order they go in, but the inaugural episodes of 2025. And we are talking about, as we usually do, our most anticipated 5 games for 2025. Everything we're looking forward to this year.
What we're definitely going to play.
Yeah, we've never done one of these where we haven't played everything. It's never happened.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll get on with our introductions. As I said, I'm LewisLightning. We're going to pull some Marvel cards. We did this in the other episodes. Marvel cards to see who we are.
This is the most fitting I've come across yet. Abomination.
Okay. Show me his face. His face is fucked up.
Show
me his face.
It's like
he's like a side snarl. Okay.
You get a better shot.
Is it melting? Does his face melt off?
There's no fun facts on these versions, but I'll say a quote from Incredible Hulk number 384 came out in August 91. It's my curse. I perceive beauty wherever I look, except in my own reflection.
That's gay. Country boy, you want to go? Sorry, I guess you should introduce yourself. Sorry.
Well, there's something funky going on here, guys. Oh, it's just me, Country Boy. Also known as
Speedball.
Yeah! My balls are very speedy.
Strength of 1, which is about right, and also agility of 1.
Yeah. So you got that vasectomy, that's why his strength's so low.
Oh, man, I got nothing.
Your balls
are so high.
And John's apparently 5'6" and 133 pounds.
Small.
My left leg, maybe.
Did you know Speedball's powers also distort his voice, making it sound hollow and otherworldly?
I did not know that.
Maybe he's like echoey. I'm Speedball.
And I am MussKeg.
Down below.
Or also known as
Dupe. Come on, be Dupe. Upside down.
Long Shot.
Long Shot's cool.
He had that ready. He pulled that.
He planned it. He definitely planned it. Yeah. He definitely planned it.
I would not do this one because he's got an energy projection of 1. And again, I don't get a fun fact. But I'll read you this quote from Long Shot Limited Series number 6, released in February of '86, before I was even born. We are the lucky ones. If we keep our motives pure and our hearts honest, we will win. And I think I have that tattooed on me.
Yeah, and his butt crack.
You think?
You can't see back there. It's on his ass. It said something.
Oh, yeah, well, it's a
they told him that's what it said.
A tramp stamp. That's where I've got it. So.
And as usual, we'll follow up our introductions with a little shot. Hopefully you guys.
Cheers, guys.
All right, so top 5 video games we're looking forward to this year. Country Boy, why don't you get it started?
Hey! I was hoping I'd get to go first because I am number 1 in most realms. So my list, I don't know, like one of these video games has been on my list for freaking forever, so I'm gonna wait till I get to that. That makes my number 1. But my number five is a game I don't really know much about. They just kind of showed a trailer for it at the Game Awards. But it's connected to the Russo brothers, and Craig's timing me for.
I just wanted to say it'd be a good thing to mention that we just saw the Video Game Awards that just came out, so that's allowed us to have probably some better insight.
It opened up my mind for some games I never would have even thought of. Yeah, for sure.
That was 4 days ago for reference. 4 days ago was the Game Awards.
Sorry to interrupt
from this recording. Yeah. One of the games that they showed a video of. The Russo brothers are attached to, apparently. It's called The First Berserker Kazan. And it looks like basically like a Conan the Barbarian sort of character. He had like a long blonde ponytail, just really roided up looking dude. Got a sword, looked like it for a weapon, or was it an axe? I forget what weapon he had. But then he's like they're taking out a bunch of dudes, and it just looked a really good, like it might be a good action
What
game,
was it
kind of
called again?
reminiscent of like
What was
what's
it
that?
called again? I just want to look it up and see.
The first Berserker Kazan. And it looks fun. From what I could, it doesn't show any actual gameplay. It's obviously like a pre-rendered video, so you're going off of that. But if it reminds me of like a God of War, so I'm hoping if it's like a God of War type game, I'm definitely going to be interested in it because that's kind of my wheelhouse, like God of War. And like my favorite game last year was Black Myth Wukong, which is similar to God of War in that sense. Good combat, so that's what I'm hoping this game is. That's my number 5. Number 4, and this one I don't even know if it's coming out on any systems that I own, but I'm hoping it does because it's owned by Xbox technically now. Doom, the Dark Ages. It's the new Doom game. I played the most previous ones, the first Doom and then Doom Eternal, I believe it was, on the PS5, and then Xbox bought the studio, so they have the rights to everything.
Were they PS5 or was it PS5 or PS4?
PS4. PS4. I played those on. Yes,
Okay.
but I love those games. It's just constant adrenaline rush, killing guys constantly, all the time. Picking different weapons, different ways to kill guys. It's just you're moving all the time. It's very frenetic, and the music it's just like hardcore rock going on. It really matches the mode that you're in, and all the blood everywhere. It is so brutal and just
mechanic is
fun.
like getting close and like ripping things out to gain health or something, isn't it? Isn't that like
sometimes?
the mechanic?
Yeah, there is. You can use it as like a finisher on guys and stuff like that. But it is fun. Even if you've done like a million kills already, it never gets old when you're playing it. Like it might be getting old if you're watching someone else play it, but when you're playing it, it is fun the whole way through. And I'm hoping it comes to the PS5 because a lot of Xbox-owned games are still coming to the PlayStation. Like one of my other games that are on this list is also coming to PlayStation.
I just want to ask because like this is a new series with Doom and Doom Eternal. The classic Doom that I'm more familiar with is like it's Mars. They go to Mars and then they find hell there. How could that work with this Doom, the Dark Ages? If it's back in time, how could that? Is it the same? Like, is it not on Mars, or how does that work?
It's last to Mars.
So the first game it was on Mars. Like they did go to Mars, and that's where like they did open up a portal to hell, and that's where all this started. And then the second game they came to Earth, and then this one is obviously it's set back in time. It looks like it's I don't know if it's like medieval times or something like that, but the Doom Slayer, like the main character that you play as, I guess they've always had a Doom Slayer, and he's always kind of existed, as far as I know. And so they've always had weapons. So I think guns and that type of weaponry has always existed in ancient times, as far as I know. I really couldn't tell you all the lore. I don't read all the things that you pick up when you play games, and you got to read all the freaking shit all the scrolls and shit. I don't read that shit, so I don't really know all the lore. I just know what I watch.
And I want to ask something else because you mentioned the music being like heavy metal rock and stuff. I want to say like a little comment, maybe a prediction, and when we do the review this year, you can tell me if it came true. But I'm going to assume that a lot of this is going to have like a lot of organ or whatever, or like high pitch like guitar, like because if it's going to be medieval, to kind of fit that theme, that's what I think for
like harpsichord,
like that.
Okay, that's not quite, but yeah,
I know.
So that's again, I don't even know if it's coming out to PS5 or not. So if it does, I'm looking forward to it. But this next one is an Xbox-owned property, and it did come out on Xbox already. But they announced it's coming to PS5 as well. Indiana Jones and the Great Circle. So yes, for the Xbox, yes, that's what I'm saying. It's on the Xbox. But they said it's not coming until I think February or March of next year for PS5.
First half of 2025.
Yeah, and when they first announced it and they showed that it was gonna be like first-person camera, I'm like, yeah, it's Bethesda's thing. They kind of do first-person all the time. I wasn't really a big fan of that, but I'm hearing it's getting actually quite a lot of praise. This game, it's getting a lot of love, reviewing very well, and so that's a good thing for me. Like if it evokes any of that Indiana Jones feel, which I'm a big fan of, I'm on board.
I mean, I've seen bits of the first bit, and the initial bit plays almost exactly like Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Yeah.
But I have a bit of a tough time with things like it almost feels like they're milking a mechanic when it's like push X to slash the webs, but then push left on your thumbstick to move the webs to the side, you know? I don't know.
I don't know.
You know what
I didn't really look at any of the gameplay. I didn't really want to ruin anything for myself. I just saw I saw the intro of the game that looks like Raiders of the Lost Ark, and I've seen trailers for it, and it does look they did a pretty good job of bringing Indiana Jones to the video game, and I love Indiana Jones, so
it screams to me the type of game that I would play like in between after maybe I played a really long, heavy game, and I just want something fun to just play. Kind of what I did with Guardians of the Galaxy this year, right? I came out of Baldur's Gate 3, and I'm like, I'm just gonna play Guardians of the Galaxy and go through that. So I'm not shooting it down. I'm just some of the things I see. I'm like, I don't know.
I love the Uncharted games. Like the Uncharted games are some of my favorite games out there, and so the fact that they have an actual like Indiana Jones, which is like basically what Uncharted is trying to do, is like doing another version of Indiana Jones. Actually having an Indiana Jones, I'm excited for it. So that'd be really cool. And then my number 2 game is a sequel to Ghost of Tsushima. It's called Ghost of Yotai. So that one, I think it's rumored for this year. I believe it was. I don't know 100% if it's coming out this year. I think it was supposed to be. But that's why it's on my list, because I loved the first one. It was the perfect length for me. Like for open world games, I don't play a lot of open world games anymore because they're just so freaking big. Like I would love to play Outlaws, like Lewis mentioned in our last video. I would love to play that, but it's just I know I'm not gonna have time to play it. Like when Grand Theft Auto 6 comes out, I want to play that game. I just don't know if I'll have any freaking time to play Grand Theft Auto 6. But Ghost of Tsushima was like the perfect length, perfect size map. The gameplay was some of the best combat I'd ever played in any game ever. And so if they can just continue that and just maybe refine some of the things, make it even that much better, I'm on board. So Ghost of Yotai is, number 2 game for me.
Yeah.
And then I don't know if you had anything else to say or not.
Female lead though, John. I mean, you're probably going to be so disappointed with that.
No, I love female leads. Like I love Aloy.
Considering how like you know Aloy, as we know from a previous video,
yeah, your favorite character, Aloy.
Aloy. You know, who cares?
You know, you're the biggest fan of Aloy. I know.
But you know, hey, it's nice to see you growing as a person. Then,
cool. Yeah. Anyways, my number 1 is the game that I think I've had on my list for the last 3 years here. I'm just gonna put it on here again because you never know. Maybe it'll come. Yeah, Wolverine. I'm putting Wolverine on here because maybe it'll come out this year. You never know. They surprise us with game drops all the time. Like last year, I didn't know anything about the Astrobot game coming out, and it came out, and I loved it. So hopefully they'll be like, "Hey, coming out this year, guys," and then it's fucking awesome.
I'm surprised you have a Wolverine. I'm surprised you have a Marvel game always at like 1. Because you haven't really liked any of the Marvel games that have come out, like of the Avengers game and
see me play Spider-Man ever.
That's Sony.
It's the same the same creators, Insomniac, making Wolverine.
Okay, well then, fair
same
point.
Guys.
I didn't know it was
Do your homework, man. Do your homework. What are you talking about?
I'm done school. I don't do homework.
And I love Guardians of the Galaxy that you just talked about. I love that game too.
Yeah, but that's Square Enix.
Yeah, well, I'm saying I've been liking.
I just thought the Marvel Wolverine was going to be whoever did the Avengers one.
Square Enix.
That's Square Enix.
Why did they get so good on Guardians of the Galaxy and so bad on that?
Why'd you give it a thumbs up?
Because it's totally different teams. There's a team working. There was one doing like the online, like a 4-player online game, and there's one doing a single player. It's totally different versions of a different type of games. I guess
single player team, because
it's supposed to be. It's from the guys that did Spider-Man, so I'm like, I have complete faith in Wolverine's hands.
Yeah.
Well, then I'm in like Flynn.
Cool. I'm guessing it's on your list then. If you didn't even know any of that.
No, well, because it's never coming out. It never comes out. Why?
Well, they announced it like when the PS5 was first announced, which is crazy. This is over 4 years ago.
Yeah.
I just think it would be embarrassing to have the same movie on the same game on the list over and over, like Skull and Bones or something.
Yeah, who would do that? Or like Vampires: The Masquerade. Yeah. Anywho, I think someone else's turn is next.
Yeah. I'll go next. So my number 5 pick, it's been on my list once or twice, or 5 times before. Uh, Vampires:
know what this is.
Bloodlines: The Masquerade.
Oh,
So,
what?
so actually, I'm gonna say, I went through, I went through, like IGN, uh, Wikipedia, and IMDb, and I looked at all the release dates for these things, and it said 2025. This game should be coming out. I mean, probably doesn't mean fucking anything, but
hmm
because it's saying 2025, that's the reason it's on my list. If it was TBD, I wouldn't include it. But I was a big
Yeah.
fan of the original, and I'm looking forward to the sequel whenever it comes out. Like, I always really liked vampires and werewolves and stuff like that. Like that era or area of the supernatural. I really like that kind of stuff. So
Areola.
this what?
Areola.
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 Yeah. So I look forward to any games like, of that nature, and having played the first one, I kind of know what to expect from the second one. So I'm hoping this comes out this year. Fingers crossed. But that's why it's number 5 and not any higher.
hmm Your
Number
excitement for it has weaned a bit, eh?
Well, I mean, there's just so much this year. Like, I got a bunch of honorable mentions yet, and
Mm.
it doesn't beat out like what I have 4, 5, or 4, 3, 2, and 1, right? So,
Yeah,
uh,
understandable.
speaking of number 4, it just announced at the Game Awards, is the first I heard of it, anyways. The Outer Worlds 2. It's my number
Mm.
4 game. So
Did
that's
you play Outer Worlds 1?
yeah, I played the original.
Okay.
So that's like Monolith, I believe, is the studio that makes it. They did like Fallout New Vegas.
New Vegas, yeah.
I think they're was it. I think they're also doing the Wonder Woman game that was announced some time ago.
Oh, was it them?
Wait,
I
Okay.
think so.
wait. Fallout New Vegas wasn't done by Bethesda?
I mean, there's like a parent. This is the parent
It's a
company, and
Bethesda owned company, yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, everybody always you do get the people like Lewis who say that Fallout New Vegas was the best one. So, but it looked exactly like what a Bethesda game looked like. So,
yeah.
yeah,
Like, they
okay.
definitely had the same engine and stuff, but
Yeah,
they
it's
just
like,
didn't
what's the
have the
point?
the main team working on it is all. But yeah, I played
Okay.
the original, which it oversold for me. Like, oh, this game looks so good, and then I played it. It's like, oh, you left out all this shit. Like, I felt like I was done at like the first act of the game, and I'm like, this is over already. That's what it felt like to me. Like, I did Act 1, and the game's already over, and then there was DLC coming. I'm like, I don't know. I like the concept and everything, but it never delivered on all that, right? But one of the things they mentioned in the trailer is like, everything that should have been in the first game is now here. And I was like, oh, well, if it's got all the stuff that I thought was missing,
Yeah.
this
Like they
sounds like a
probably
good
heard the
game.
fan complaints and then we're like, okay, I guess we gotta toss this
It
all
was,
in
like, it
here.
was like, you know what? I'm back. I'm
Yeah.
back.
Well, even from what it was missing, it wasn't terrible, but it just
Mhm.
really average, right? So I'm hoping for something more than average from this, is what it is.
I'll say for myself, like I'm not a big Bethesda type game fan. I think the Fallout games I played Fallout 4. It was okay. I never finished it, but I was a lot more. I would have been more excited for a game like the Outer Worlds. That's more. I think it's more in my wheelhouse. I feel like I just like that. I don't know the fact that you're in space. I thought that was way cool. The more sci-fi aspect, but it was also like retro space, which is kind of if that
Yeah,
makes any
yeah.
sense. I like that idea of it. That I think would have appealed to me a little bit more. I still never
That's
played it,
very,
but
that's a Bethesda thing though, because Bethesda did BioShock, right?
No.
no.
Oh shit. Okay.
Who was that, John?
But
I don't know who does Bioshock, but I know it's not.
I know shit. You know what? 2K did the first. Who did the sequel? I'm trying to remember.
Yeah.
I don't. I can see
all
the
I was
symbol.
trying to get,
I can see their symbol, but I can't think of what the fucking name of it. You go
all
ahead,
I
Doc.
was trying to get at was the concept that one thing that I feel like is a very popular vibe with today's gamers or people is the idea of like future, but with old technology,
Mhm.
right? Which is what you're talking about with Outer Worlds and everything like that. Is
Irrational Games. Yes, Irrational Games. Those are the guys
yeah,
that made
you know
Irrational
the
Games.
concept of like this is futuristic, but it's got
Steampunk.
a syringe that looks like it
Yeah,
could
it
be
is steampunky.
yeah, steampunky. Yeah, that's a good way to put it. Yeah.
I just like it. Just seems a little bit goofy, like some of the stuff. That it's not really like the retro aspect that gets me. It's the goofy side of it. Is what I like.
Mhm.
Well, you're a goofy guy.
Yeah, I am. But so that one's 2025. Nothing more specific than 2025. That one's supposed to come out. Same thing with my number 3 pick, which was also just announced at the Game Awards, Dispatch. I don't know if you guys watched the trailer for that at all.
I
Um,
don't know if I have.
it's got like
Maybe.
a loaded.
Oh, wait, sorry, pause. Is this the one where it's like almost a Telltale Games one?
Yeah,
But
looks like it
it's like you're like 911 operator
for
for
superheroes.
superheroes.
Yeah.
Sounds
Oh.
fucking awesome, actually. I'm in. Tell me
Well,
more.
it's got like what they advertise in that trailer is like an all-star cast: Laura Bailey, Moist Critical, who's like a streamer. I'm not a fan of them, but I'm just gonna name them off. Jacksepticeye, Joel Haver, which I like. Is it who's the guy in Breaking Bad? Is it
Aaron Paul.
Aaron
Aaron
Paul?
Paul.
Yeah, he's in there as well.
Is
Jesse
it like
Pinkman.
known superheroes? Like, is it
No,
Spider-Man?
they're just random guys. They made them up.
Oh, is that why him and Laura Bailey were on stage at one point during the Game Awards?
I just watched
to
the
announce
trailer.
that?
I didn't watch
Yeah.
the awards themselves.
Yeah.
I watched the
Okay,
trailer.
because I saw them on stage and they were kind of doing some bit of banter back and
heard
forth, but I
about
didn't
it.
know that they had a game.
Somebody was like a 911 operator for superheroes. I'm in. That sounds
Yeah.
fun.
But
So
the trailer looks like it's mostly like cinematic parts of the game. Because I mean, it's a Telltale where it seems like it's like point and click, but it looks like a lot of that is kind of like little mini games. Like you're building the right team to go through certain like checkpoints or whatever.
yeah,
So that looked fun. Like I'm on board for
people
that.
probably die if you don't put the right people in at the right times.
Yeah.
I like
So
that.
like of those guys, I'm a huge fan of Joel Haver and Moist Critical. So that's when I saw them, I'm like, oh,
Okay.
I'm gonna pay attention to this. And then I saw the gameplay, which if you watched our other episode, we were talking about games we played last year. I said Dave the Diver was a bunch of mini games. That's what this looks like, and I'm like, oh, okay,
Okay.
I'll get on board with that.
I'm interested.
I'm interested. I'm in. Yeah.
Check out
I'm
the
in.
trailer at least. Maybe that'll give you some more information. But
Yeah,
yeah.
I totally missed it.
All right.
My number 2.
Yeah, right now. In a world of superheroes. Sorry, you were saying something.
My number 2 is the same as Country Boy's number 2. If he remembers what that was, Ghost of Yotai. So, like him, I was a big fan of Ghost of Tsushima when I played it. Originally, I was like waiting. I was like, this. I heard some bad, or I thought it looked bad. And then Country Boy played it. He's like, actually, this is totally different than what you're thinking. And I played it. I'm like, this is amazing. It's like Assassin's Creed in Japan, basically.
Yeah, basically.
What?
Which is coming out at Assassin's Creed in Japan.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, let Lewis finish his list. Let him finish his list.
Maybe.
Ghost of Yotai.
Yeah, sorry.
It's set like 500 years after or 300.
I want to say 3.
I want to say 4.
Maybe.
I want to say 4.
But now there's guns. That's the big difference I saw, and because I'm trying to allude to the fact that I'm a little bit worried that like what are they doing different from the trailer that I saw? There wasn't a whole lot different aside from the guns. So I'm wondering if gunplay will be the big thing.
Guns in that period are cool because they're so fucking hard to reload.
Yeah.
That you basically use it as a one-off thing.
Might as well load the damn thing.
You'll have it loaded and you'll be able to do this cool sequence where you're like sword fighting, and then all of a sudden you're just like, but you can't keep just shooting everybody, and then you gotta,
yeah.
I think you get a dog companion too, or like a wolf companion or something. Okay. Maybe they hinted at that. I think there was a hint that they were like animal companions. Maybe that was what they were doing in the trailer.
New protagonists. It's a little bit sad we're not getting Jin to come back. Jin Sakai is no longer here. Obviously, he's not immortal, even though he's a ghost. He's not immortal.
I'm still fucking so disappointed that it didn't turn out he was actual ghost. I played that whole Ghost of Tsushima game thinking that there was going to be a big twist at the end that he was actually
you were dead the whole time. The Sixth Sense. What?
He falls off a bridge at the start of the game, and then all of a sudden, like it would make complete sense that he was a ghost. I think it's a big miss, especially if you're not going to continue him in the next one. That's a big miss. And I just want to say about
maybe he will be a ghost now. Now that his story is done, he can be a ghost because it's like 300 years later. He's haunting.
Is unlike you guys. I played it after the DLC came out.
Yeah.
And so something I wished I'd known how it worked with the DLC, because I played the game and I was trying not to, do the story too quick. So I ended up in the DLC area
It's a lot
like
harder.
halfway through. And so
Well-
then all of a sudden I have all the cool shit.
You got,
and
you got the high end shit though. Yeah, once you get to
like
the
I got
island,
all the core armor and everything. And I'm
yeah,
like,
you
"Oh,
got that stuff,
I don't
and
really
you're like way more buff than you should be.
yeah, exactly. So that's one thing that sucked a little bit about it, but yeah.
Yeah. Like I said, new protagonist, female protagonist here too. So, and I'm not too familiar with Yotai. Like I knew Tsushima was with the Mongols and stuff. This one, I'm not really sure who the threat is. So maybe we'll see more Europeans even. Who knows? Like we got guns.
Maybe. Yeah, maybe some Ninja Turtles.
So my number one pick for 2025 that I'm looking forward to a lot, and Shazbot is also really looking forward to this. A little indie game,
Is there like a StarCraft game coming out?
Slay the Spire 2.
Say the Spire 2.
So
Okay.
me and
Okay.
Shazbot, he was in our Helldivers episode. If you haven't seen Shazbot, you can check that
Yeah.
out.
Check that out right here.
Well, the show.
He's mostly a PC player, but Slay the Spire's been on both PS4, 5, and PC or whatever. So we both love that game. It's like you got cards and you're going through a dungeon, and your cards are like what your moves are as you combat these guys. So it's a dungeon crawling game. So yeah, the first one's amazing. Like I played it a little bit last year again. Like I beat it once and then I went back in last year and I played some more of it. It's really fun and addictive. So I'm looking for a change and just seeing like, wow, what can they add to it this year in the sequel that'll be different, right? So really excited for that. And hopefully I can stream it. I know it's coming to early access on Steam in 2025. They didn't say what date exactly. So I could be playing like, an unfinished version maybe as soon as March or something like that, March or February. But the full game, I'm not sure when, but I'll probably stream it if I get the chance to.
So, is there any like actual physical characters in this game, or is it
Oh, yeah.
basically it is okay.
You at the
Wasn't
start,
sure. I have no idea about it.
you choose one of there could be more, like 4 characters in the first game you had, and you choose one of them, and they're different classes, right? There's like a warrior class kind of. There's like a mage class, and there's like a rogue class. And then you try to go through the dungeon that way. You get specific cards to your classes as you go, right? So this one's adding a few more classes, I think, adding new classes in the sequel.
So there's 3 of us here. Which of us, Lou, would be the warrior? Which would be the rogue? And which would be the mage?
Definitely CountryBoy would be the warrior.
Warrior, yeah, for sure. Yeah.
They call him the Ironclad. That's CountryBoy.
Yeah. Yeah. But between you and I, that's the real question.
Yeah,
I think Lewis is the mage and you're the rogue.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say. I'm trying to remember what he's called in that. The you would be the mage one, Craig, and I would be the rogue. The rogue was the silent. I can't remember what the mage was. The defect. The defect was the mage. So that's you.
Okay.
He's like a robot mage. That's
I think I kind of agree with John a little bit though. John's probably thinking more like a rogue being a sneaky,
Yeah, the guy that lies to your face all the fucking time, stabs you right in the back.
Stabs you right in the back.
I
mean, rogues do backstab. So,
but it's not like you're sneaking around a dungeon. It's like you get in certain fights as you go through. So
okay.
But yeah, that's my top 5. MussKeg, if you want to start with yours, number 5.
Get in there.
Sure.
Get in deep. Get in all nice and deep, like
3 knuckles deep. So I'm gonna go obviously number 5. Just announced at the Game Awards. And again, I think we should put a caveat with all these. We have no clue if these games are ever going to come out in the year that they're going to come out.
Is there a 4 in the title? Okay.
You know it. Borderlands 4.
Oh.
I liked all the Borderlands games. They're fun. And what I remember about playing them is I played them and then I stopped and I almost didn't remember anything that happened, but I loved the games. They're fun when you're in them. They're big enough that there's lots to do. You can take your time going through it. The story's pretty fun. The comedy's really fun. It's a unique art style, so and a unique world, and I do enjoy it. So
I'll say if we ever did like things I wish I got into, another episode of those, I might say like Borderlands is a series I kind of wish that I got into back in the day, because I don't feel like jumping into the fourth game, because I think I probably would enjoy those games. I hear the comedy is awesome, the combat is great, so I think
yeah,
like I probably would have enjoyed those games, but I'm not
and
jumping in on game number 4.
I'll also say that I actually like the Tales of the Borderlands, the Telltale game as well.
Mhm.
Probably
Cool.
my third or second favorite of the Telltale game series.
I was
With
gonna say
Telltales, yeah.
I want to get into that as well. Like I actually have on my PC, I have Borderlands the pre-sequel, Borderlands 1, Borderlands 2, and I have like a copy for PS5 or PS4 of Borderlands 3, and like I
Yeah,
want
I
to,
think there was a free download
yeah, I
at
want
one
to play
point for
all the old
Borderlands
ones
3.
first. Like I want to play,
I'm
and I
Mhm.
want to
actually
do it in
surprised
order.
you haven't, Lou. Like, I know Peter, our friend, is actually really likes the Borderland game series, or
Well,
he used to. I don't know if he's continued, but
everyone's basically played it already without me, and it's like I don't want to just be there by myself playing it. Like I want to play with a group, but everyone's
the only,
done, right?
the only one I never did, the only one I didn't really play all the way was the Tina's Wonderland expansion pack,
Oh,
and that was because I started to play it right when I finished Borderlands 3. It came out, and I was like, I'm Borderlands out at this point. I don't want to get back in. And I need to. That's always what happens with Borderlands. I play it, I have fun. By the end, I'm like, that's good, and I'm happy to move off of it.
Mhm.
It may
yeah.
seem weird to say I like a game, but that's just how it works for me with that one.
Yeah.
Okay, number 4 on my list, and this is where we're going to get into who knows if these are actually going to come out. Is the re-envisioning and reimagining of the Fable game series.
Oh yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
Again, I also don't know if it'll be out on PlayStation because the original was only on
I don't
Xbox.
think so. I doubt
In
it.
which way? You don't think
I
it'll
don't think
be
it's coming
on?
to PlayStation. And just like Halo will never come to PlayStation, I don't think Fable would ever come to PlayStation.
Yeah. So who knows if I'll ever get to play it? But I really enjoyed the first 3 Fable games in descending order of them. I thought Fable 1 was the best. Fable 2 was good as well, and then Fable 3. But yeah, it's if it came to PlayStation, it'd be great. It probably is going to be one of those ones where I say, "Hey, I like it," but I just don't end up playing it again because I can't really ever see myself having an Xbox unless I get one really cheap here or there somewhere down the road. So maybe
Yeah.
like a cheap one, and then you buy Game Pass so you can play all the old games on it. Essentially, that
Well, they're
type of thing.
basically giving away the Xbox One S's nowadays. Those ones that don't have the disc drive,
Mhm.
they can't give those away fast enough. Nobody wants to buy those.
I just feel like such a horror if I had both. Um, so not obviously not too much. I don't think either of you played the Fable games
I
at
didn't.
all.
I played 1 and 2.
Lewis did, yeah.
You did?
I
Oh,
haven't
okay.
finished either of them, but I
Yeah.
enjoyed them. They're good.
That's odd that you didn't finish either of them, but you enjoyed them. That's a weird. That
Just
usually for you, if you like one, you'll get into it. So
I played it after the fact, right? So it's like I'm playing an old game and something new, like modern, comes out, and it's like,
oh yeah,
oh fuck, I forget about this. I'm gonna play Dragon Age Inquisition over that.
I just hope
Yeah,
they
yeah.
keep heart emojis that you can do. Okay, and then my number 3, and this is where I really get in. I'm getting really into the. I heard about it at the Game Awards. I have no clue if it's coming out, but when I was doing research, my homework, it was being listed on people's like 2025 games of the year. So, Intergalactic, the Naughty
Oh,
Dog new
that would have been
new.
on my list, but I don't think that's coming out this year. That's why I
Well,
didn't put it on
it
there.
was on people's list in my
Yeah,
homework and
yeah.
IGN, which is a credible source. Anyways,
If I can do an edit to mine, it would be number 1.
Yeah.
If it's coming out this year, but it's not coming out, I don't think so.
Yeah, but I will say, like, I'm excited about it. Just, I'll even bring it up just to talk about it. I'm excited about it because, Naughty Dog. We've had Last of Us and not an Uncharted back to back to back to back kind of thing. Correct me if I'm wrong, John, but has there been anything else in between
Oh yeah.
other
Between
than
Uncharted and The Last of Us?
yeah,
No, it's been Uncharted and The
yeah,
Last of Us.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that's all it's
So
been for the last
excited
like
for the
how
concept.
many
I don't even
years?
really know too much about the
17
concept.
years.
Futuristic, but I trust Naughty Dog with many things, so they haven't let me down once yet. So,
And
um,
you're speaking my language. You know I love myself some Naughty Dog.
so it might not come out, but hey, whatever. Gets us talking about it. Number 2, Ghost of Yotei.
It's all our number
Yotei.
twos.
I think. Yeah, Ghost of Yotei, if we're saying it properly. But
Oh wow, it's all our number twos. That's crazy. Yeah.
yeah, I mean, obviously the biggest Ghost of Tsushima fan here, but we all liked it. We all enjoyed it.
I have the action figure of Ghost of Tsushima with Jin Sakai. Check it out right here.
Yeah, but I learned all the techniques with my samurai sword.
So
So
did I.
John got the
um,
mask too. John's got the mask.
I do have a mask. I didn't
what
buy
a
a
great
mask. I do have
series!
a mask.
What a fun fighting, and you don't have to fight. You can try and be stealthy. Um, it obviously extreme dichotomy because one was first person shooter, one was third person, one was much more like smoothly different worlds, but the ability to choose between trying to do things stealthily versus just fighting your way through gave me big Deus Ex vibes, because that's a big thing in Deus Ex is you can try to choose which way you want to do it. And you want to win Splinter Cell 2 to a degree, it does try to push you more to the stealth
Stealth.
thing. But you want to win my heart over, give me the option to play a game stealthily or,
Guns
you know,
blazing.
guns blazing.
Mhm.
And you'll win my heart. Which is why I'm actually kind of so excited to play Cyberpunk, because I feel like it could be my Deus
Okay.
Ex. But I started Cyberpunk up twice, and every time a new game that I really wanted to play came out, and I had to reset. So 3 times the charm. We'll see what happens when I get to it. But Ghost of Yotei, we both Yotei. God, I'm such a fool. I studied Japanese, so
You're so
um,
white.
I know, which is surprising, right?
It's like
I'm so white yet so cultured. Uh,
paper looks dark next to him.
and lastly, my number 1, and probably the biggest caveat of there's an
Is there another
extremely
number 4 movie too?
no, there's an extremely huge
Oh.
chance this is not going to come out next year. GTA 6.
Oh.
Uh,
I figure it's gonna be on your list.
I think it will.
I mean,
I
it's
think it will come
easily
out.
number 1 if it comes out next year, and it breaks my heart that John's committed already to not playing it, because one of my biggest wants for GTA 5 was to get friends to play with me. And what killed me was John and I did play GTA 4 online multiplayer together,
Mhm.
and we had a fucking blast. We loved it. We spent all night playing with Australians who were playing in the morning, and he loved it.
What was
And
great is you didn't even have an earpiece, so I had to like talk to them for you.
yeah,
Because you could talk to me through like what was it, through our phone or something like that, and you were
yeah,
talking to me,
it was on
and I
the
was like
PS3, right?
translating,
It was on the
even though they spoke
PS3.
English too.
It
Yeah,
was
it's
on the
PS3
PS3.
day. Yeah,
So,
yeah.
I mean, it's such a fun game to play with friends who care about you. And I want my friends to care about me and to play it with me. And who even cares about the story? Like my story-wise, I actually liked GTA 4's main story more than GTA 5's. I'm certain that probably GTA 6 is almost going to be kind of sort of similar, just because they've realized their money is investing in their online strategy. I mean, isn't it like the highest grossing game of all time?
I
Um,
don't
Probably
know.
it's existed
I
for
would say
like
and it's been
probably
on
10 years.
that or
for
COD.
forever, and it's
It's on
consistently doing great.
3 different
Um,
console generations.
Yeah,
I think
that
it's
or
been
Call of
on.
Duty. It's one of those two.
and
Yeah.
if all I want for Christmas is for my friends to play this game with me.
Well, all I want for
It's
Christmas
not
is
out.
the time to play all the games I want to play. If I could get that, I would have no problem playing Grand Theft Auto 6 if I
If
We'll
had
get
the
into
time.
there's easily way to make time.
you know what,
Um,
I wish.
if they want to get me on board, sell the story portion of the game separately from the online, because it's always like the online comes out 3 months later. Like Red Dead Redemption was like
True.
six months
True.
later. So just make it separate. Then I could just play the online. I don't want the story. I do not
I
want the
think they
story.
do, though. I think you can play the story, like online without playing the story in
Maybe.
GTA 5. No, I know you can
No,
actually because
you can play it, but you still gotta buy the full game.
Yeah.
It's insane.
Okay.
Maybe you could buy half the game.
I think if you invested in GTA 5, you got your money's worth out of it.
No, I want 40. I want to pay $40 instead of 60 or whatever. I'm not paying for it.
Anyways, it probably won't even come out next year, but my most anticipated game. It's my most anticipated game of the past 8 years. So
yeah, I could see that. You're pretty basic. I could see that.
Yeah, basic bitch.
Sure. Yep.
So you want to follow up with any honorable mentions you might have?
Sure. I've only got one honorable mention that I'll bring up right now. There were a few other, like, I could see myself trying to get into Metal Gear Solid. I enjoyed one of the Metal Gear Solid games, but I just was never a PS guy. But one that I've heard or I read about, and I'm curious, is a Perfect Dark remake. And I played the first Perfect Dark, the only well, no, not the only, but the one that mattered on N64, and it was a fun game. It was very Deus Ex actually. So, if there is a Perfect Dark, one day maybe I could still see it. But my backlog, I still got to play RoboCop, which I think was on my list for like last year or the year before. I
Yeah,
still
That's
got
2
to play.
years ago, I think. Yeah.
Still got to play the
Yeah.
Harry Potter game that you played, Lou. I still got to play Baldur's Gate 3 again. Yeah.
Zelda.
Yeah,
Zelda.
I gotta do that too.
Zelda.
All
Tears of
three
the
of us are
Kingdom.
Zelda.
I'm the biggest
Holy
Zelda fan
shit.
here. And I still haven't
Probably.
played.
Yeah.
But I think I might be getting.
Being something for Christmas, you said. I don't know what the hell.
I think I might be getting it for Christmas.
Okay.
Oh, okay. I thought you
I might
already owned
actually
it.
play that one like
I-
handheld on the Switch. Just because we'll see.
Yeah. Then at least you can take it with you if you want to go places. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I do want to go places.
Was that it for your honorable
Yeah,
mentions?
that's really it. That's really it. Yeah.
So I got like a slew of games on mine, and honestly, I missed out on that intergalactic or interstellar. What was it called?
Intergalactic. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe.
Beastie Boys song.
I don't know if I
Well, I'll throw that hero like 911 thing on
Dispatch.
to. I'm excited about that dispatch. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm excited about that one.
I don't know if I overlooked it, this intergalactic, but maybe it just doesn't come out. But I'm looking forward to that one. I'm a little bit on the main character, just to look nondescript. That was the thing I really didn't like about that trailer. But I mean, it was also completely cinematic. That was not even in game at all. So
They said at the very end where she was like slashing at the robot.
okay,
that was
yeah,
in game.
Yeah,
They said that was.
that's true. But anyways,
which is still like only like 8 seconds.
So on my list of other things that I actually did write down, Mafia, the old country, it was also shown off at the Game Awards. I knew about it before.
That's cool.
That's supposed to be the third quarter of 2025. Takes place in Italy, but like old school. Like I'm guessing like pre-World War II, maybe even pre-World War I by the looks of it, because they're riding horses and stuff around there. So, but the thing for me, I want to play through all the Mafia games, and I've only done the first one so far. So I got 2 more to go yet before I get to that. So
I started playing one of the Mafia games because it was free to download off and it just didn't suck me in.
Oh yeah.
Didn't suck me. So I just
Yeah.
It's funny when these games come out that Lewis hasn't played like any of the previous ones. So he makes homework for himself.
Yeah,
so like I gotta play 1, 2, and 3 before I get to 4.
It's the same
I'm gonna get there.
It's the same thing with The Witcher. I have Witcher.
That's what I was gonna say. The Witcher. Like
okay,
I know you're playing The Witcher.
Hold on a sec. Witcher can't be brought up by anybody here because if Witcher 4 is not coming out next year.
It wasn't on your list.
So,
I'm not. It's not on my list either.
I was expecting you to say it. I was expecting you to say it actually.
But it's not going to come out next year. Like that's the thing.
Just the way he was talking about it.
Probably not. Probably not.
It's going to be so good.
Marvel's Wolverine, obviously, but as far as I did with my research, I couldn't find any date. It was TBD. Maybe it'll drop 2025. Maybe it'll be 2026. Hard to tell. Yeah. I feel like it's going to be soon, based on when they announced it.
I know. I feel like it should be.
It's coming.
Another Marvel thing that you guys might have forgotten about. but it's due 2025 is what I found. Marvel 1943 Rise of
43. I
Hydra.
saw. Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah,
It wasn't on my list though.
it's
I
like
don't know.
Captain America and Black Panther in World War.
Who's making it? Who's making it? I can't remember who's making that one.
I want to say it's Amy Hennig's like Sundance. I think it was Amy
Okay,
Hennig's.
then
think it's
that
Capcom.
interests me. That interests me then.
You
I think it's Capcom.
Yeah, Marvel versus Capcom probably. Yeah.
Well, it's either that Amy Hennig's either doing that or this Daredevil one that's been rumored for
The
a long time.
point about Wolverine, by the way, if there's a time to release it, it's now when Wolverine's probably at its biggest hype with Deadpool and Wolverine. Like that's they should be capitalizing on it.
Yeah, I mean, yes, it helps capitalize, but it's not like it ties in.
Yeah.
It's not tied
Yeah,
in.
I know.
No, it's not.
After that, I have, as CountryBoy mentioned, Indiana Jones and the Great Circle, which is supposedly in the first half of 2025 for PlayStation. I think it's already out, right?
On Xbox, it is. Yeah,
PC?
it's getting reviews and everything. And everybody. Yeah, on PC. Yeah.
So, like,
Yeah.
originally, I've had a lot of doubts about Indiana Jones based on like his movies.
You're excited because Harrison Ford isn't playing anybody.
And Bethesda has a bad record. Like Starfield was terrible as well.
Oh,
Everything I heard.
Oh yeah.
So those two things are I was just
Overhyped.
like,
Yeah.
I wasn't putting any hype into that. But once the reviews came, I was like, okay, yes, I will learn to love again if this is possible.
Troy Baker is playing Indiana Jones, not actual Indiana Jones. So I'm okay with that. He says.
So it's still low on my hype train. That's why it's on my honorable mentions. But
Yeah.
it's there. It's there.
Yeah.
Assassin's Creed
I
Shadows.
mean, I'm excited about it too, but I just didn't have it on my hype train because I thought it was already out. So
I mean, it technically
not for our system.
Yeah. But yeah, as CountryBoy mentioned, Assassin's Creed Shadows is out next year as well. Valentine's Day comes out on Valentine's Day. Assassin's Creed
it's usually in
Shadows.
November. They usually do November drops.
How is this Assassin's Creed game not your number one? You are like the Assassin's Creed guy. You live and die by Assassin's Creed.
I have not played Mirage, which was the latest one, because they're kind of going back to an old school version of the combat, and I'm like, I like the new stuff. What you were doing was kind of more RPG-ish, and now they're going back to, okay, it's only stealth gameplay, and I was just like, I like being able to pick how I wanted to play, and now they're not doing that anymore.
2 is the best Assassin's Creed.
I would say
for my money it was, but I only played up to like Bloodlines.
Probably Black Flag. I like Black Flag.
I played 3 a little bit. Oh yeah, Black Flag. I thought you would have said Black Flag. Yeah.
Unity is where I stopped, so I don't know what's been in between. But Unity was where I stopped.
Actually, I gotta say Odyssey because I like the Greek stuff. I love all the Greek stuff.
I thought you were gonna say Odyssey. I thought Odyssey was easily your number.
Yeah, I actually play that one.
So
massive.
So as much as I like the Japan setting and everything, they also have 2 protagonists. So there's like a female one who's just gonna, I think, gonna do all the stealth, and then they're gonna have like a more samurai one who's gonna be all like the heavy combat RPG stuff. And it's just like, I'd like to have a solid story, and that's always been missing since like Assassin's Creed 3. The story's gone downhill. So but I'm still interested. It's on my honorable mentions for that reason. Also, 2025. Pokemon Legends Z to A, sometime in 2025. So they made like Pokemon Legends Arceus came out, which was like a third-person open world game that you could run around and do the collecting and stuff. I haven't played it. I have a backlog of Pokemon games to get into, but they did X and Y a long time ago. Like I want to say 2016 or maybe even older than that was X and Y.
What the fuck kind of order are they doing? X, Y, Z, A?
Well, so they
usually... What kind of order is that?
They usually do like 2, and then like they do a definitive one, which is another color. So there was like, red and blue, and then they did yellow.
Yeah.
And then they did
diamond.
Gold and silver, and then platinum. And then
platinum,
diamond, pearl, and then what was the one after that? There's another one after that. So they did X and Y, but they never followed up.
Pewter.
But they never followed up X and Y until now. This is the follow-up, so I'm looking forward to that.
Okay.
If you played Pokemon,
I never knew you were a Pokemon guy at all, Lou.
I like the collectible thing. That's always the big thing. Like I love collectibles in any games, and that's what Pokemon's all about, right? part RPG, part collectathon. So works for me. Metroid Prime 4 Beyond, also due for 2025, also on my list. I played the first one. I have 2 and 3. I got to play those yet, but Metroid Prime 4, like, I wish I had more time to get into that series, because there's also Metroid Prime Other M that I have to play.
Yeah.
Like, I like
that's another. I was gonna say that's another series wish I got into. That's another one of those Metroid Prime. I'm not going back.
Yeah, I even have the old school remake of like the first one, like Metroid Prime Zero Mission, which is the original Metroid game. Like I've been playing that too, but like how am I supposed to play the Witcher games, the Fable games, the Metroid games, the Zelda, like all this fucking shit?
Exactly.
I'm gonna tell you this
All
right
this
now.
homework.
Get that fucking backlog. Don't bother with Witcher 1 and 2. Just play Witcher 3.
And then
That's what Craig did. He didn't regret it.
Yeah, and I don't regret it.
I got 2 more. I'll get through them real quick because I didn't play the other ones. The Sinking City 2. So I think.
Oh, I got the first one.
Have you played it?
I played a little bit, and then I got into something else, and I didn't replay it. But I do want to play it still. It was cool.
Yeah,
it was like a detective game. So.
I have it as well, but I haven't got to it, so that's why it's so low on my list.
Yeah.
And then the last one, I just put it on it for the meme value. I heard it's got good reviews, but it's kind of just coming to I think PlayStation and stuff now. Hello Kitty Island Adventure.
All right, we'll see you guys.
Yep.
Have you seen the you've seen the World of Warcraft South Park episode, right?
Who hasn't? Yeah.
Yeah, that's the only reason I have it on there. That's the only reason.
Kitty Island Adventure.
It's just a joke.
Okay.
Yeah, I know.
I didn't realize it was a reference. Like, holy fuck. Like, if you
we
were playing Hello Kitty here,
characters, who would we be?
you're Cartman.
Yeah, Cartman. That's
I'm Butters.
I'm probably Stan.
Fuck, I was
The man.
Or maybe Lewis is Stan.
between me and you, Country Boy, we're Stan and Kyle.
Yeah.
I thought
That's
he
what
was
it
going to
is.
say he's Randy, Stan's dad, because
I would only say you'd be Stan because of the episode where he becomes really cynical about like everything he watches and hears, and he's like everything is shit. I was like, that's a Lewis. That's right there. That's a Lewis episode.
I mean, Kyle kind of is the same thing where Cartman gets Cartman Land and he becomes kind of cynical and he's like, yeah, the world sucks.
He was tighter with money.
Was tighter with money.
I don't think either of us really are. I have to be because I'm married now, but that's the only.
I maybe I'll lean with John to Randy a bit too, because he could be Randy.
With big balls.
I'm Randy. Okay,
yeah. I could lean that way. I don't know.
I could see that.
I've seen him have to carry him around in a wheelbarrow.
There was a ghost.
I was sticking just the core 4, but yeah, if you want to go like expand amongst other characters,
we'll
I
core
can do that.
4. So obviously,
Ectoplasm.
Do you have any honorable mentions there, Country Boy?
I do. Well, so since you guys brought it up, I'll say the Intergalactic was definitely a game that I'm hyped for because it is Naughty Dog, and they're finally doing sci-fi, which is what everybody's kind of wanted them to do.
I've been hoping for a long time.
Because like when the first Last of Us game came out, there were all these like, comic books you could pick up, and they were like, it was down in the second game when they had like, the comic books, or like there was like cards you could pick up too, and they were like had all these like sci-fi characters on them that Ellie would pick up.
Okay.
Yeah, both of those games they had one of them had I think cards, and the other one I think had comic books.
I say the first one because they bring up like comic books in the TV series, so I thought that maybe that's why in the first one it was picking up comic books.
Either way, ever since the Last of Us games, they kind of like it was almost like they were hinting that they might be doing a game about sci-fi, and people have been like, "Yeah, that'd be fucking awesome." You guys, maybe not an open world sci-fi, but do like a Naughty Dog type of sci-fi game. That would be awesome. Yeah, so that's if it comes out this year, that would have been my number one on my list, but I don't think it's coming out. That's why I didn't have it on there. And then the only other one I had on my list is another game that I had on my last year's list because I think it is coming out this year. Is The Wolf Among Us 2. Yeah, Wolf Among Us 2. So I love the first game. The Telltale games, love them or hate them. I just pick point and click sort of stories, but I really enjoyed that story, and I can't wait to see more of Big B, who is the big bad wolf who you play as. It's just fun game. Really cool.
All right. Well, we're getting near an hour, so let's wrap this up.
Oh my gosh, are you kidding me? Holy shit.
MussKeg, you want to tell us where they can find you at?
Twitter PSN is MussKeg.
I'm the LewisLightning on YouTube and on Twitch.
I'm everywhere. Look for me wherever you want. I'm CountryBoy_9 or CountryBoy9er, including here on YouTube where I unbox a bunch of stuff. Go ahead and check it out.
And that's everything we've been looking forward to in 2025. Let us know what you're looking forward to down in the comments, and we will see you later.
Got my
so
two
good.
cards.
Delish.
In Fang Fu.